Well, let's move to another country where Sharia is the law of the land, and let's talk about the resolution Congress just passed supporting the Iranian pastor who's now facing the death penalty for supposedly converting from Islam to Christianity. What's the latest on that case?
Well, two things I can report, or three actually. One is the pastor, as of our last contact, which was just a few days ago, is still alive. Number two, the Golan Province Court appears to have entered an execution order. You mentioned that Congress, by the way, it was ended up being unanimous. It looked like there was one nay vote, but that was an incorrect vote. Unanimous resolution on Congress. I will tell you this, that we've got a team from the ACLJ on a foreign diplomatic mission starting today with foreign governments that are speaking out. The European Union has been very aggressive. Italy and Germany, the United States, President Obama, Secretary of State Clinton have been very outspoken on this. And you're starting to see international pressure. What we're hoping that does not happen, of course, is that Youcef Nadarkhani becomes a pawn in the sanction situation with Iran. But there is international global call. We've got a team going to Latin America this week. Actually, today, I've got a team of ACLJ lawyers going to the UN in Geneva next week, where they'll be meeting with the Human Rights Rapporteur. So there's international pressure on this is growing. But, Youcef Nadarkhani is a face of thousands of Christians that are in jail in Iran. And, they charged him with apostasy, leaving Islam, becoming a Christian. The fact of the matter is he was never Islamic. He never became a Muslim. And he's been a Christian for since about 19 years old, became a pastor in the last, I think, 7 years, has a church there in Iran. And he's being persecuted with facing the death penalty simply because he shared his faith and he objected to the teachings that were being required in schools that his Christian children went to about Islam being the only true religion. So that's why he's facing a death penalty, and we need to be really clear on that.
Do you see any push at the UN? I mean, all UN nations signed the Declaration of Human Rights that calls for freedom of conscience. Do you see any move within the UN to not just impose sanctions, but say we need to expel nations who don't live up to that declaration?
I don't know if there'll be enough of gumption, if you will, for them to require expulsion, but I think you'll see resolutions from the UN condemning Iran for their violation of the universal, as you said, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which in Article 18 and some of the other, a number of the articles, protect religious conscience, freedom of thought, even the ability to change one's religion. By the way, Iran is a signature to those resolutions, but they don't abide by them. Now, the question will be, will the Human Rights Rapporteur, the human rights head that's in charge of Iran in that area of the world, issue a condemnation? They did it back in October. We've got lawyers there right now trying to get them to do it again, because it does put economic pressure on Iran with these sanctions. And then the last thing they need is threats over the expulsion, as you said, or even condemnation from the UN because of the way they're treating this pastor, who's basically facing death by hanging because he's a Christian. And we need to understand, he's the face representing thousands that are arrested and in jail right now in Iran with the tyrannical regime there. So this is, he's the face of the movement. But this is I will tell you this, Gordon, we've got a Tweet for Youcef campaign at the ACLJ that's reached about almost 1 million Twitter accounts a day. There's celebrities that have signed up, and soccer stars have signed up for it, sports stars. I mean, it's been incredible. And that is reaching not only Iran, it's reaching, I think, 39 predominantly Muslim countries. Tweets are going in there right now. So this has gotten global attention. And that's going to be, this is media advocacy. That's what I told our lawyers I'm calling this. It's diplomatic in one sense, but media advocacy in another. And CBN News was the first to break this story, and we are forever grateful, as will be Youcef Nadarkhani if we obtain a victory here, because CBN News broke this story and has kept it at the forefront.